What is going on? What is up, YouTube? It's your boy PJ Maniac. Got back at it again with another video. And today we got another top 10 list. I told y'all, get my last video, the top 10 main characters, get that to 15 likes. And I'm gonna drop my top 20 characters of all time. Not main characters, but my top 20 characters. Until that video gets up, I can't drop that one. This video today, we're gonna be doing my top 10 anime of all time. Actually ranked in order. I'm just gonna go through, give y'all my list, give y'all my thoughts, and I want to hear y'all favorites. I want to hear y'all thoughts in the comments too. So, without further ado, let's get straight into these honorable mentions. The first one we're gonna get into is the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Come on, we're pumping out premium content. Just press the button, join the clan, and come along for the ride. I promise you're gonna have nothing but bangers coming along. Okay, but in all seriousness, the honorable mentions I have are Jujutsu Kaisen, JJK, Demon Slayer, Komi Can't Communicate, and Mob Psycho. The first two I have because with the whole shonen type of anime, I like seeing it as completed, like the whole plot, progression of the characters and all of that. And in JJK and Demon Slayer, we just haven't had any of that yet. So I'm going to give that time before it makes it onto my list, but they can easily make it the longer the story goes on. Mob Psycho, it was more just a fun show to me. Like I said, it didn't have all of those extra elements like development and surprise factors. But it just is a good feeling show. Same thing with Komi Can't Communicate. Both of them felt good and they were enjoyable to watch, but not enjoyable enough to make it onto my top 10. Like I didn't connect with them enough for them to make it to my top 10. However, all four of them, extremely, extremely good anime. Gotta go watch them if you haven't. Okay, so coming in at 10, we got Death Note. Anyone who's seen Death Note, I don't really gotta explain to you why show is so great. But if you haven't seen it, it's one of those shows that really make you think. It's a crime show, blurs the line between good and evil, right and wrong. We have a crazy main character who is like an anti-hero, works in his own sense of justice, and really has like a narcissism problem later on. You can see how his character changes and develops, and I feel like his rival with L is one of the best rivalries, like opposing rivalries in anime. I love anime that involves smart characters, not like a lot of fighting, but like intellectual fighting, and these two battle it out for so long. Wasn't the biggest fan of season 2, but season 1's plot twist cements it in my top 10 for me. At 9, we got Prison School. Now, I know I was just saying about anime that don't have like a full plot twist, and like deep thinking and all of that, or character development or anything like that. I know this show didn't really have much of any of that, but it was such a good feel. It was one of the first anime I watched, the first like comedic anime I watched. The first one I watched was like Soul Eater, and then I watched like some of Naruto, so it didn't really have like full on comedy. Like every gag and every episode purpose was to make you laugh in this show, and I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of inappropriate jokes and inappropriate comedies. I used to find that, still do to this day, but back when I first started watching anime, like that used to flip me over super easily. So I love this anime. Great cast, great comedy. It got a little out of pocket at times, but the best shows always do. When I was talking about the honorable mentions, I made sure to say that point about connecting with it personally because of this anime. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it. I am real nerd. I love experiments, love like trying to figure out why things are the way they are. And that's pretty much what this show was. And as you know, love isn't something you can just like do an experiment and you're like, oh yeah, I love you, and be able to find that out through data. But actually seeing people try, it was really, really entertaining to me. And it was also hilarious. Like there was a bunch of gags. The character interactions were wonderful. There wasn't much like development needed for the shows, but like seeing, like it was a romance anime, like seeing two characters in love and with a bunch of group of friends that they had great character interactions with, added on top of the comedy and the science, it was like heaven for me as an anime fan. At 7, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. This Anime, I'm still watching part 6 right now, Stone Ocean, but it's done enough to cement itself. I believe there are a bunch of more parts in the manga. Hopefully, I see them all animated. But part 2, JoJo's part 2, I don't remember the name of it. I think it started as Crusaders. Don't quote me on that. That was one of the best experiences with anime I have. I connected with all the characters heavy. They were either funny or I hated them with such a burning passion that I wanted to see like their demise. And the story was great. The plot progressed great. It didn't take too long. It was only like 24 episodes, but it felt like it had more than some of the other JoJo parts. And then some of the other JoJo parts were also gas. I loved part 4. I loved part 5. Loved part 3. So JoJo's definitely my Black Clover, number 6. I do not read the manga. This is just the anime rating. I'm really excited for when it comes back because I've seen a lot of great things are going on in Spade Kingdom. But Black Clover was another one of those that I just felt like in the world. Like, it's not the most extensive world building, but it was deep enough to make me feel like that I was in, like I'm in their verse, in the Clover Kingdom, part of the Black Bulls. And this is one of the Black Bulls are one of the best side casts I've seen in anime. Just the way they interact with each other, how they all have their own dynamics, but their own dynamics fit perfectly into the group. I think it's great writing all around. The power system is, I love it. Like how I always into magic, but how each different mage has like their own type of way to use their magic makes them unique. I really like that a lot. The captains, best set of captains in anime. Yes, that's a shot at Bleach fans. The first to crack the top 5, Full Metal Alchemist. Brotherhood. I haven't seen the original Full Metal Alchemist or just the one that's just Full Metal Alchemist. I only seen Brotherhood. I love the plot. Great pacing. In the beginning, it does seem a little bit rushed, but it throws stuff at you that you need to latch on to because it has one of the best, in my opinion, best is an opinionated word, one of the best overarching plot lines in all of the shows I've seen. So things from like episode 2, 3, 4 matter on down the line, and some things are extremely big down the line. Phrasing. But it's the way everything ties in. I mean, it has a great supporting cast of characters. Not the best I've seen, but they also do serve their purpose for the plot extremely well. And just the way everything ties in together, it's one of the best stories I've ever watched. And at number 4, Attack on Titan. Now, once again, not a manga reader for Attack on Titan. I kind of got a little bit spoiled on how the ending was, so it might fall down the way, depending on how the anime animates it, portrays it. But I love Eren's character. What I thought was development, but the way some of the episode shows that he might have been like this the whole time. Just the dichotomy of good versus evil in the show. It's one of like, in my opinion, the best because it's so blurred on like who's good, who's right. It's 100% up to your opinion. I like the discussion it can produce. The fights are amazing. The powers are amazing. The lore was crazy. Plot twists out the mind. There are not many full-on complete stories as good as Attack on Titan in my opinion. Into the top 3, OG Naruto, Shippuden, Boruto included, of course. Just the overall story, world of Naruto, it's always fascinating me as a kid. I used to play Storm games and Naruto games on Beyond way before I even knew what Naruto was. Like, me and my friends be in the front yard, imaginary throwing jutsus at each other, doing the Naruto run when I was like 7 years old, and I didn't actually watch the show until my sophomore year of high school. So just seeing like how everything put together was amazing, mind-blowing. It was the first like extensively long show I've ever watched. Up until this point, I never watched a show as long as Naruto with Shippuden attached. Great character cast. I had a reason to like everybody, and the ones I didn't like it was no character I just didn't care about. It was a strong like or a strong dislike for, and I love character cast that makes me feel a lot. Going back to a point I made about Death Note, I love like anti-hero stories. And Code Geass, my second favorite anime of all time, was one of the best that I've seen. Zero had a crazy backstory, and it led him to a point where he had the power to do something about it, to like get revenge. And what could be seen as wrong in the world's eyes was some of the stuff he did wasn't really justified in his eyes or in my eyes, but a lot of things he did, like, he had a reason to, and it was justified for. So I like seeing anti-heroes in their progression, their thought process, and all of that. Lelouch, I love smart main characters, and he is one of the most intelligent I've seen. There's just so much to love about Code Geass, so much I love about Code Geass. And last but certainly not least, shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, my YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, literally all Maniac D-God. Like, very heavily inspired off of One Piece. It's just a great story about freedom. I know there are other shows about it, but I haven't seen any that encapsulates it as well. Like, Luffy is the embodiment of freedom, fighting for freedom against a very oppressive power. It's very easy to get behind. Like, you see the Straw Hats and it makes you want to root for them. I don't know how there's so many One Piece, so many Luffy haters that have seen the whole show. Like, just how charismatic and thoughtful he is. He doesn't really think much, but he is very thoughtful. I just always want to root for him, and it's been a great journey, a great adventure. One Piece is my undisputed GOAT. So there you go. Those are my top 10 anime of all time. If you guys have any dispute from what I said, you want to leave your top 10 list. If you want to leave any ideas for any other top 10 lists that you want to see me do in the future, leave it in the comments. Let's start a discussion. Let's talk about it. Other than that, it's your boy PJ. Make sure you like the video. I'm signing off, and I'll catch y'all next time.